Hey, what's up guys, TheHossUSMC here. Today I'm putting in an operational cache, and I wanted to, or a cache, for those of you that hate the way I pronounce that. And I'm putting this in because I want to be able to have some gear that's available to me at the place where I'm going to be at without having to carry it with me all the time in the back of my car. Or maybe there's a possibility you might end up at this place, potentially wherever you're putting in this operational cache, where you're not with your vehicle or something like that. There's lots of reasons why you might want to put in an operational cache. My theory is that I have some extra gear that I'm not using, and I just threw it in a pile, and then eventually I kind of put it all together and realized that I had enough to put in an operational cache. And so what I'm going to do today is just show you what I'm putting in there. Now so first of all, I have these boots from Magnum, which are the Sidewinders. These are some good boots, and I've used maybe a quarter or a half of their wear, so they still have a good amount of wear left on them. And I've used them before in some ruck marches, and so they're not bad boots. So the pack that I'm using is the Grey Ghost Gear let's see, is it the removable operators pack is what it's called. And this is the light lock material, so it's very light, which is in contrast to these steel plates, but we'll get to those in a minute. So what I did was I put some 550 cord on the back. I have some magazine pouches on the outside, so I could put a couple mags on the outside for some extra mag holders or for a buddy. On the back here, in the back pocket, I have hearing protection. I have some frog lube wipes. I've got matches. I've got emergency blanket, cleaning rags, extra gloves. There's some gloves in here from Damascus, which is kind of like a police supply store. And these are some great gloves. I used them in some of the classes back in Camden. And then I've got a couple of these bottles from Hydra Pack, and these are some really great, super tough rubber collapsible bottles, which are really great. I've got this drinking straw, purification straw from McNett, which doesn't do, let's see, it does not as much as some of the other straws, but it's a lot smaller and lighter and stuff. So from McNett tactical line, I also have their repair kit, which comes with a bunch of repair stuff for your kit. There's buttons and sewing material and zipper stuff and 550 cord and everything in here that you might want to repair your gear, which is important to have. We got some fire starters in case I end up wanting to light a fire. There's a lot of reasons why you might want to light a fire. You may want to cover, where you're going, and lighting a fire might be a good way to do that. Or you might just be cold and be in an area where lighting a fire is okay. And you want to be able to light one easily, so there's some stuff in here to do that. There's also some MRE toilet paper in here, which I think is definitely a big deal. I also have some chem lights. I also have some cheap goggles that I picked up, I don't know how many years ago, for like 10 bucks or something. And these are not the best goggles in the world. You probably couldn't wear them around because they'd get foggy. But in the back of a truck or something, these would be invaluable. Or if I had to ride a snowmobile or ATV or something like that, they would work for that. It'd be better than not having them. And I just had them laying around. The hydration bladder here that comes in here is also from Hydra Pack, and these are really great, inexpensive water bladders that are super tough, and so I really like them. And a lot of these packs don't come with a hydration bladder in it, so it's a good place to pick up some inexpensive ones, and I really have liked them. So I have a multicam cap here from Modern Musket. She's a really great guy who runs that. You should definitely go check it out. I got this bag here, which I keep a bunch of stuff in. I keep a Shema in here because those are really great, have a ton of uses. I got a couple of different what you would call it. They're handkerchiefs, bandanas. We have some extra skivvies. We got a t-shirt in here. I got a fleece cap. I got an extra pair of black socks, cotton socks. And then I have one of these dry shirts which kind of wicks away moisture from your skin. I believe this is from XGO, and XGO makes some outstanding products too. The chamois that I have is from them. It's fire resistant. So that all goes in this bag. This is my kind of keep you warm bag. And then in here is a skivvy roll, which if you don't know what a skivvy roll is, I have a video on that and you can check that out. And then I have a couple of these carabiners, which are really great for being able to clip onto all sorts of different stuff that you may want to clip onto and hang things or do whatever. Carabiners are just really great. Next up I have this jacket from Condor. This is the Phantom jacket, and I just put a new coating on this so it's good to go. Those jackets are not really warm and they're not really good at keeping out rain, but they're kind of good at both. So it's a lightweight jacket, it's a soft shell, and it works kind of good, and that's what I'm looking for. Is I don't want a super hot jacket or a super impermeable jacket. I want one that's going to breathe and get, you know, let sweat out and things like that. So because a lot of times you can't stop and take off all your gear to take off your jacket, so that's something you should think about. I also have a belt in here from Original SOE, which is very important to have a good gun belt, so that you can put your pistol on it, you can hang stuff off it, whatever, but it's going to keep your pants up and it's going to keep your gear secure on your side. So I have a pair of these multicam proper pants, which are I think they're Army issue or whatever. I don't really care. I have one of these dry bags from Watershed, which is multicam, and it's the only company that I've seen that makes these in multicam, and I know that Watershed has a really good reputation. So before I put this in the cache, I'm going to do some testing with it just to kind of make sure that it's good to go. But it's definitely going to go in the cache, and it's going to be used to store some of the gear that goes in here. So I also have this the black box. What's in the black box? It's a AK-47 drum, and it's fully loaded and then put back into its into the bag that it came in, and then duct tape around the cardboard box to keep it secure and loaded. So all I have to do to get this 75 round drum up and running is pull it out, give it 10 or 11 twists, and I'm in business with 75 rounds of ammunition, and I can load up my other mags or do whatever. So I like to keep my mags unloaded. I know some people in my caches, I know some people will poo-poo that or say that I'm dumb or whatever, but whatever. It's not going to hurt to leave them unloaded. So if you're taking the time to dig all this crap out, you're going to probably have enough time to load your mags too. So going with the kit, it's a Glock 22, which I took a holster here and I fit it into the gear, and as you can see, it's not easy to get it back in there, but it's going to be easy enough to get it out when I need to. It's not the best system, but it keeps the pistol with my kit, so maybe I just need to practice drawing that out. Looks like I need some practice with that, so haha. Anyway, pistol is not necessary in one of these kits, but it's a good thing to put in if you can. So I put in a Glock 22 because over here I have a 9mm and a 357 SIG barrel, so it can be converted to run 9mm, and that's going to be definitely important. So this is my Strike Hard Gear chest rig with the padded H harness, and I have a video on this. You should definitely check it out, and you can see all this stuff that's on here, and it's all explained. And then under here is the Shellback tactical steel plates, and sorry, it's AR-500 with the Shellback tactical carrier, and the steel plates that are in here are from AR-500. I really dig steel plates for the Minuteman Prepper because they're inexpensive, they're basically going to last forever, and you can take a ton of hits on them. Now the only downside to steel plates is that they're heavy, and once you put them on your body, they're really not that heavy. So it's important that you put all your gear on first and you make sure that it fits, so you can find out about stuff like when I draw my pistol, my whole kit's going to slide up. So just knowing things like that is important. Some other things you might want to think about putting in your operational cache are feel-good items, or gee-dunk is what my dad used to call it. But it's different things like maybe long-term food bars that are going to last a long time, so you don't have to continually, go back to your cache to change them out. Food bars, you could put in caffeine pills, you could put in all sorts of stuff, because you want to be able to be the most effective that you can be, the most comfortable that you can be, so that you are the most effective and that you're well rested and things like that. So that's why it's important to have things like an emergency blanket, so that you can sleep and stay warm and not keep waking up because you're cold and things like that. So I'm going to be putting my cache into this 50-gallon drum here. It's got a sealable top, and I'm not sure if this is going to be the final resting place for it, but it's a barrel that it has enough room to fit all the crap in there. And what you're looking for is a good seal. So I sanded down the rim just real lightly and cleaned up the rubber gasket here on the inside of the lid. And there was water inside here when I opened it up. This thing's been sitting in my backyard for about a year, and so I don't know if this is going to be where it's going to be stored is not going to be exposed in the rain, so it's not that big a deal. But you may want to think about that and test out your systems before you go ahead and bury them, or do whatever you're going to do in someone's barn or their attic or whatever. And what I'm probably going to end up doing is just putting a trash bag over the top before I seal it down, and then I'm going to seal all this stuff in trash bags before I put it in there anyway. So it'll be double sealed, and then it'll be inside a building somewhere to ensure that it's not going to get all rotten or waterlogged or anything. So thanks for watching, guys. Oh, the AK that's going to go in here, I'm not sure yet what I'm going to put in here. There's a couple of candidates and I haven't decided yet. So there's also going to be an ammo can in here with 9mm, 40, and 7.62 x 39, and a couple extra mags. And that's going to be roughly in the neighborhood of being able to fill all my mags twice. And so that's kind of a good option, is just to figure that out. Part of the reason why I went with 7.62 by 39 is that all these mag pouches can be used for 5.56 mags. So if I absolutely had to, I could switch this out and make it work for 5.56 as well. But you can't go the other way around. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope that helped you out. If you have any questions, please leave them on my Facebook or whatever. Check out all these companies that I was talking about there. These are all companies that I've specifically looked for their gear because I wanted it, because I knew it was good to go. Thanks for watching.